action.
Eh.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello,
This is
hello.
going to be the first live video podcast of 808s and Fast Breaks. I am Jason Amar here with my good friend Andy Cordell.
Hey, hey, hey.
We're super excited to be bringing our first long form video podcast.
Yes, sir.
Just a little bit of housekeeping, real quick. We've we've been grinding, so this is technically episode 10 of 808s and Fast Breaks. Every episode so far has been posted on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so please check it out there. We've also just made a YouTube channel. We just made a TikTok account. We're gonna start posting there. That's what the videos are for. We're super excited to keep bringing this basketball and other sports and other anything content to you. Um, Fun show today. We're just gonna recap kind of where we're at in the NBA playoffs. Smack dab in the middle of the conference semifinals here, as Andy enjoys a quick tum. um, and then we'll hit a little bit of a fast break news where we just run through the headlines of the last couple days, and then we will do our brand new segment, which is going to be a little bit more, long form discussion. Hopefully, debating, ranting, sharing opinions, sharing some vibes, and that is called the Replay Center,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
where we've got a random generator that'll bring up any of these questions or comments that we've spent some time coming up with. Um, and we don't know what's coming. So put us on our feet a little bit and see what kind of conversations we can have about both music and basketball. I think we got some good
Yes,
stuff
sir.
in there.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, first episode, live video, episode 10 overall. Let's get right into it.
Sounds great.
So, like I said, we are kind of smack dab in the middle of the conference semifinals right now.
Mm-hmm.
Couple tied series being Dallas and Phoenix, and then the Heat in Miami, or the Heat and the Sixers,
Mm-hmm.
and then today we've got a couple game fours. Boston taking on Milwaukee in Milwaukee, and then the Warriors taking on the Grizzlies in Golden State. Um, so this will be a kind of a quick podcast. It's got about an hour till the game start here, and I know we want to be able to watch them. So
Mm-hmm.
real quick, let's just do some picks for today. A couple quick bets that we like, maybe, and then we can jump into the news. So, what do you think, Andy? Let's start with Boston, Milwaukee. Who do you think wins this one? I believe the line is set at -1.5, favoring the Bucks.
Yep.
And in terms of injuries, it actually just looks like Robert Williams may not be playing in this one. Just came across the news stream. So,
Oof.
where's your head at, man?
I'm definitely looking at Milwaukee right now. I feel good. Uh, Giannis and Holiday, they took the same amount of shots, 30 each. Um, I don't think that's gonna ultimately win this series. But if a couple other players step up from Milwaukee and Drew and Giannis are able to um, just hold the offense in place, I think they have a really strong chance of winning tonight. And in terms of betting, nothing too crazy. Like, to be honest, there was just the Milwaukee money line, which I think might be a safe pick. Right, it's just a one-off. Um, and not really any good player props or anything that I'm comfortable with, to be honest, because the series still can go anyway.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm kind of going against you a little bit on that one, dude. I
Mm,
think I got the
mm.
Celtics in this, even
Oh,
without Robert Williams.
I hope he
Um,
proves me wrong. You know who
yeah,
I'm talking about.
we'll
You know who
see,
I'm
dude.
talking
I don't
about.
know. Taking the underdog in this one, I think.
That's fair.
And then I'm gonna take the Warriors -10
Mm,
as well. They're big favorites. John Morant's not expected to play,
jeez.
um, and the Grizzlies were like, a really good team without John Morant. I think like 20-4, 25, something like
20
that
and
throughout the
5.
season.
Yep.
Yeah, so they prove they can be good without him, but this is a completely different environment. Desmond Bain hasn't been himself with that back injury flaring up
Yep.
at the end of the first rounds. I don't think they can do it without him. I think they're going to get blown out again. And the Warriors found something last game, dude. Like they looked really good in the second half. So I don't see it for the Grizzlies right now. Unfortunately, I think that they're probably going to lose the next two, and that series is over. But we shall see.
Yeah, I agree
Um,
as well. I think Golden State takes it all the way now.
yeah. And then as far as props, I got a couple I like. I like that Al Horford over 12 and a half points. Robert Williams is out, and Horford's been hitting that anyways. So
Right.
I'm hitting that, and then I like the under on Curry's assists. You've seen Poole step up as a more of a ball handler. We know Draymond obviously is getting a lot of the facilitating duty in that team. So I think we're just going to see a little bit more of scoring Curry than distributing Curry.
Right.
Even last game, he got to the line a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Was getting layups because Memphis kind of said no threes and left the paint vulnerable. So I think we're just going to see a little bit more of that. Um, and honestly, I'm ready to sweat that one. Like I don't care. Curry's probably gonna have like 5 or 6 assists. Like it's just I don't think he has more.
Right.
But cool, man. Did you say who you had in that one? I'm assuming
Yeah, I have
Warriors.
Golden State.
Cool.
Golden State. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think just like you, it's just like without their emotional and leader, their best player, it's just like all the other pieces too. It's like I like Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman has been giving them good minutes, like, but ultimately it's just not enough to stop. Like I would consider like the first or second best team in the West right now. You know that or Phoenix. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Um, let's kind of flash forward here and do a little bit of fast break news. So, Andy, again, I know you've had a busy day today.
Yep.
Um, I kind of ran through some of the headlines right before we hopped on here and accumulated kind of some interesting stuff around the league that's been going on. Um, so let's just kind of fly through that, get your thoughts. I'll respond a little bit, but really just want to get your first reactions to some of this. So first off here, it's been confirmed that Nikola Jokic will be announced as the MVP of the league,
Hmm.
according to Woj, making him back-to-back MVP winner. And yeah, I think it's expected to be announced sometime this week. It's also announced that Joel Embiid came in second in the voting, which I think we all kind of
We all
knew that was going
expected
to be
it.
1-2 either way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
are you surprised? Did you think it was going to be Jokic? Did you have Embiid? Thoughts?
I thought it was going to be Jokic. Uh, Advanced metrics. I don't want to use that as like the crutch of my
The nerds
reasoning,
win.
but
The
dude,
nerds again.
but Jokic really is just playing out of his mind. He looks like the best offensive juggernaut right there with Giannis in the league. But what's ironic is like Joel's right up there too. You know, scoring leader, leads his team right through all the BS the beginning, especially with you know who not playing in Philly. Like it's like I I kind of feel for Joel because it's kind of like he's kind of like what else do I need to do, right? It's like we all know or we all knew that Jokic wasn't going to be able to push through the first round. Like we knew that. And this is where the argument of is the MVP like a regular season thing or should this be announced at the end of the season? Right? And like personally for me, it's just kind of like, you know, I would like to see that the MVP at least make it to the second round,
Well,
right?
here's the thing. It's not should it be announced whenever, should it be considered like it's a fucking regular season award. That's not changing.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
only issue is next year they're not picking no motherfucker who's not 1 or 2 in the standings and they know. Like it's probably going to be Devin Booker next year or some shit like that. Or if
oh,
Luca and the Dallas Mavericks are number it's get whoever is the best player on the best team next year will be MVP. That's like
mhm,
for sure now. You know what I mean?
mhm. Yeah, I know.
Because
It
it's
was
gonna
just
be
weird.
reactionary. Because everyone's now pissed. Even media members are like, we might have picked the wrong guy. Because Embiid went off yesterday too. You know?
Yeah, I mean, but like I don't know. I'll give Jokic the credit. I think I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve it. I think
Yeah.
anyone that's an MVP contention deserves it. More of just the nitpickiness of it. I thought the narrative for Joel this year, and I hate to say that narratives slightly matter, but they do,
Of course it
right?
matters.
And like, dude, it's we're romanticizing a game of people dribbling the ball. Like, I think Joel is right there. If like we could share the MVP award, that'd be really cool. Like co
Yeah.
MVPs, but
Well,
like no.
I think Embiid should have won it.
Mm, mm.
Like I would have voted for Embiid.
Right. If you had a vote.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
One, and I don't know if this is the right way to vote, but this is how I would vote. When we look back in 25 years and Embiid doesn't have an MVP, that'd be a shame. So I would,
I agree.
I look at it like that, to where he just like he performed at like literally it's 1A 1B. You give it to the guy who should have it,
Right. Right.
legacy wise. Jokic had it last year. They're basically 1A 1B best centers in the league. Take your pick.
Hmm.
So like I just feel like it was right to let them go back and forth, back to back, each other over 2 years, and then because it's like it's almost guaranteed it's not going to be a big man next year winning it too. Because
Right. 2 years in a row for a big man winning MVP hasn't
well,
happened in
three,
years. Or
Giannis,
three. Oh yeah,
actually four because he went back to back.
he went back to back.
So it's 4 years of big guys. So it's not like you're gonna get a guard next year. It's like certain. If Booker averages like 28, 6 and 7 or some bullshit like that, it'll be Booker. And their
Yeah,
number
it'll
one
be
seed,
in
it'll
the
be
like the
Booker.
number one seed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it.
Honestly, get like put your if when the early odds come out in the off season, put your money on like Luca and Booker and Ja, because it's gonna be one of those three guys,
Right.
almost guaranteed. I feel like unless
Right. Right.
LeBron comes out and goes nuclear and the Lakers are the best team in the league,
Or they're
but
like,
that narrative is too powerful.
I could say that I could even make the argument that if LeBron makes a top three seed in the Western Conference next year, he could be in contention,
Yeah, having
like
like the
for
same year
MVP
he had
talks.
this year.
Yeah, like barring injury, right? Because that was like
Hmm.
a huge thing. I like this season in a sense has been really awkward to gauge because there's been like I wouldn't say movement, but it's been like just a lot of injuries, man. It's
Yeah,
just kind of like crazy to like think about. Like, yeah, if Braun didn't get hurt, like he was playing at an MVP level. His team's record didn't reflect that, but he himself was playing like an MVP. It was pretty ridiculous.
yeah, for sure. All right, man. Next piece of news. Monty Williams officially announced will be announced as coach of the year. I don't know if that'll be at their next game in Phoenix. Depends, I think, if TNT is doing the game because they do all the awards. But
Right.
that I think was also announced today that he will be the recipient of that. Just real quick, I don't think we need to spend too much time on it. Is that who you
Well
would have
deserved.
picked, or I know it's
Well
obviously
deserved.
deserved.
Uh, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I don't.
it's
What
either
do you say, right?
Monty. Yeah, it's like either Monte or like
Jenkins.
I would, Jenkins is kind of like the
He's
dark
probably
horse.
finished second in the voting,
Yeah, second. Like, dude, he did a lot for Memphis this year.
and
I mean, like,
Spolstra.
and Spolstra too with
I think
Miami.
those are my three guys.
Yeah,
Any one of
yeah,
them would have been okay.
yeah.
Coach of the year is just
I'm
such a
okay with.
crapshoot. Like it doesn't really matter, you know.
Yeah, it's just more reflective on the team itself. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? The
Exactly.
coach of the year award is definitely a team reward. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah,
Um. Let's see here. Let's get this next piece of news. On the whole Chris Paul kerfuffle with his family in the Dallas arena. So this is just a bad story. I don't know. It sucks all around, right? So to recap, it appears that there was like a 14, 15-year-old douchebag rich kid sitting in courtside seats with his mom, and they were like unwantingly, like it comes out there like they were unwantingly hugging like Chris Paul's mother and wife, like taunting them. It seems like like, oh, it's gonna be okay losing, like, but it's just bullshit. Like I don't know, and they only got banned from the arena until 2023.
uh,
That came out today. So I don't know. It just seems like a whole bunch of like, okay, yeah, like they were just taunting them. So like, are you really gonna ban them for life? But it's as also like, yeah, like you like they physically touched someone like
yeah,
of a like that. That's such a slippery slope. I don't think any of those people like that fuckhead kid should have his face plastered at arenas and never be allowed in. Like fuck
yeah,
him, dude. That's not cool. You
yeah,
don't get to do that.
yeah. Keep
Like
your hands to yourself. Like
yeah.
truly, like unless there's like consent, like oh, like you were able to go onto the floor, be able to hug a player or something, or like dap them
Yeah,
up. Like,
like
okay, that's cool.
it's one thing like you've seen Jaws' dad T Morant, right, kind of
Right,
fucking around with fans and having a good time, and like
right.
the kind of the camaraderie going back and forth with the rival fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like so he's like kind of given the cues that he's open to that sort of playful shit, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
even still, it's like you're not gonna put your hands on that dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
I think that's such a good parallel, and like and then you have like it's Chris Paul's mother who's like old, right? Like Chris Paul's
She's
almost
like
40. His mother's
probably
got to be
yeah,
old,
like
and
60,
like his wife
70.
and his kids were there, and like, dude, just like I don't know, that's so unbelievably not cool. I think the punishment wasn't just. Um,
Right. Right.
Gets me
Yeah.
fired up.
Yeah. What are you gonna
I
do
just think
about
it's
that
so
though?
it's so easy to not go over the line as a fan.
Oh yeah.
It's just so
Oh
easy.
yeah.
Like you can boo, you can scream, you can cuss, you can just don't verbally or physically abuse anyone.
Yeah. I know.
I
Pretty simple
that's
shit.
fucking it. Like I
Yeah,
don't
I know.
understand how it's so hard to not go too far. Just like
Kid,
have a good time, have a few drinks, and just
you know,
leave it.
what was funny is the kid wasn't even like old enough to drink. Like, how can you
No,
get
dude,
that
he's just a
riled up?
shithead
Yeah,
rich
and
kid.
you're just like an entitled piece of shit. Like, dude, like Charles Barkley. Did you see the whole segment where Charles Barkley was talking about what he would have done to that kid?
Take
That
him out
shit's
to
just
midcourt.
yeah, yeah. That shit was funny, but it's true, dude. Just like in no type of way, like should you just be like around people's personal bubble and space like that? You know what I mean? Like treat everybody with respect. You know, as much as it's a competitive game, like there are levels to this shit. Like you gotta keep your distance, dude. Seriously, that
Yeah,
was wild.
absolutely. Um, all right. Last piece of fast break news here. We'll fly through this one. It is announced by the Sacramento Kings that their head coach will be drum
Mark
roll
Jackson? Is it
Mike
Mark
Brown.
Jackson? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
I'm kind of
All
pumped
right.
about it, honestly.
He's
I would have, like I said, I probably
It's
would have picked
nice.
Clifford, but I don't. I like Mike Brown too. Anything was better than Mark Jackson.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, that's just news to me. Thank God. I mean,
Yeah,
Mike Brown players like just has good relationship with players, players coach,
yeah.
talks.
He's been an
This is like the
assistant for
biggest thing.
years.
And it's just communication, you know? Like that is so key cuz like the worst thing for Sacramento would be like getting a coach like Mark Jackson, super egocentric, like kind of I hate to say it, but whenever I see Mark, it's always like the attention kind of has to be on him like and I'm just kind of not about that cuz especially if you're coaching, like at the end of the day, you can write up all the plays you want, but it's your players to execute. If your players aren't behind you, they're not going to execute. So,
Yeah,
shout out to Mike Brown.
for sure. And I think it's nice that he's a very defensive minded coach.
Hmm.
Um, he had success coaching LeBron in his first stint in Cleveland. Warriors assistant for a while. Kind of floundered in that one season that didn't work out with the Lakers. If you remember, like when Nash and Howard were there, and they only gave him like 5 games and then fired him early. So that was just kind of weird.
That was just a shit team, though.
Yeah, and he's been a Warriors assistant under Kerr ever since then,
Hmm.
basically,
Hmm.
and clearly had a lot of success. So um, I think it's gonna be cool to see what he can do. Um, I think they just need a good like foundation on defense, and
Hmm.
anything else is like icing on the cake. Like if you have that, you can probably make a play in. The West Conference is a bitch, dude. Like there's just too many good teams. They're not going to be a top six, right? Like
Right, of course.
so, just play solid. Try to play consistent. Get the 10 seed minimum. Try to aim higher, and hopefully they can make it to the 7-8 seed after the playing tournament, right? I think that's just kind of like
Yeah.
how you got to be thinking as a Kings fan.
You gotta hope. I mean, I still think the Kings need personnel changes just on the team
Oh, dude,
itself.
oh, they
Like,
suck. Yeah, they suck.
I'm gonna say
Like
that
a
right
lot needs
there.
to happen. Like, what are they going to do with Harrison Barnes? Is like is
Huge question mark for Harrison
De'Aaron
Barnes. Yeah,
Fox the guy there? Is him and Sabonis the pairing? Like, it's
right.
the weird fucking team. So
Yeah.
we'll see what
You know,
happens.
what kind of sucks though, if you really think about it, if they just didn't trade for Sabonis and they were somehow able to retain Tyrese Halliburton, he would be kind of like the perfect player under Mike Brown.
I would have kept Halliburton and traded Fox.
Me too.
every time, 10 times
Me
out of
too.
10.
So now we have this amazing player kind of stuck in no man's land in Indiana. When in reality, if you're gonna have a coach change like that, like there are three guard lineups that work. They've made it work before. You just need to get the right pieces around them. Look at Golden State, right? So
Yeah.
it's just ironic how all of that just kind of falls apart. But
Also, just wanted
hopefully,
to shout out
yeah, he'll do it
this
right.
Reddit user for this post.
Yeah,
Uh, let's see. You are a beach. Is a Reddit username.
great.
um, how to get your fan base to rally behind the hiring of literally any coach. One, announce you're interviewing Mark Jackson. Two, question marks. Three, hire anyone else.
That must have gotten quite a lot of votes.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my god, I feel so bad for any Sacramento King like fan right now. I mean, I'm not much better as a Portland fan, but
Dude, let me
damn,
let
at
me
least we
read
made the
this. Let me read
playoffs.
this to you, dude. Let me read this to you. The absolute wave of relief you get when you see your team hire literally anyone else is euphoric. It's like watching an 8-year-old walk across a highway unscathed.
Reddit is truly where I laugh the most. Like, I don't have another website that makes me laugh more. Just when you go on the basketball page, it's just
Oh
like
my god, dude.
it's amazing. Jesus Christ, dude. Said hire
Fuck.
anybody else. It's literally euphoria.
Oh my goodness. All right. All right. That wraps up our news segment, I think.
Bum, 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 bum. Bow.
Um, but now we can kind of get into the real fun shit. I don't know what we're
Mm,
gonna end up talking about right now.
mm.
So I'm going to pull up this random number generator,
Okay.
and I think I can actually share my screen when I do this. I'm gonna give this a whirl.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 1 to 13, and we've
Okay.
got we've got 13 different questions randomized here. Topic topic setting questions, real just barn burners discussions.
Mm.
And let's see what we land on here.
You said barn burners?
Yeah, I did. 9, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Best trades that never happened.
Oh,
What are the
shit.
best trades that never happened?
Huh.
Ooh,
When you mean best trades that never happened, in a sense, is it like because that player did ended up not getting traded, it worked out for that team, or is
I
it
think
like
it's just I think let's approach it like it's a big what if. Like
a
what are
big what
10
if?
huge trades that never actually happened? Like the one that
Uh,
immediately comes to mind for me, and I don't know if this was a trade or a signing,
right.
but do you remember 2 seasons ago um, when Chris Paul was leaving Oklahoma City Thunder? They had just gotten bounced in the bubble, and
Right.
everyone kind of knew he was going to go to another team. Remember the rumors that he was going to go to the Bucks?
Oh shit, I do remember that.
Yeah. So let's just take a moment, and I know the Bucks ended up already winning a championship last year, but can we just take a moment, close your eyes, everyone, and think about the Chris Paul and Giannis pick and roll?
God, that'd be
Yeah, dude. Like,
disgusting.
what? That would have been
Jesus, what do
so
you
filthy.
do? Pick your poison with that.
Yeah. So that's one that immediately comes to mind for me. Um,
Okay.
the other one that immediately comes to mind, flashing way back, I want to say this was like either the late 90s, early 2000s, maybe like 2001 or some shit. Um, but Orlando was kind of gearing up, and this wasn't a trade. This was like, I guess, signings that never
Signing
happened.
because he hit free agency. I know what you're about to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Orlando was wanted to bring in with T Mac and Grant Hill. They wanted to bring in Tim Duncan.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So that was going to be their big three. And I remember, like, I've heard Bill Simmons talk about it. It's like he said it's like the first time he can remember a team like clearing cap space just, ahead of
Just
time.
to sign him.
Like
Yeah.
teams do all the time now, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
smart way to gear up as a front office, but Dude, that big three, I gotta imagine that would have been some championships because that would have been like altering careers, like T Mac, Grant Hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Tim Duncan, like you never have him and Popovich on the Spurs all those years. So that'll be crazy. But what
Yeah.
about you, man? Anything that comes to mind for you?
Yeah. First one. I heard it on a pod. It was an interview with Bogut, Andrew Bogut, and he said that in the trade there were discussions of him being traded to Golden State for Steph instead of Monte.
That's
And you
huge.
kind of and when I heard that, like I was just listening to this Bogut podcast and I was just trying to think like, well, shit, if Steph like as good as he is, like by himself in Milwaukee, I was like, maybe
No
maybe
way, dude.
they drop in the lottery and they like I mean they drop in the standings and they get good picks. Like what if they were to still be able to draft Giannis?
Crazy, dude.
Like
That's a
that
good
was
one.
like
I didn't even know about that, honestly.
yeah, it was crazy because Golden State was having problems at the time because I do remember the backcourt was truly Monte Ellis and Steph, and it was just kind of like, well, they're both true like sized point guards. Which one do we choose? And Golden State had a really hard time choosing between the two. So it ultimately was Monte, but that was just a crazy hypothetical.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I
Um,
have a big one. I honestly can't believe I forgot about this.
huh.
What if David Stern never vetoed the trade?
Oh, for CP, yeah,
Yeah.
that was gonna be
Chris
my other
Paul going
one.
to the Lakers.
Yep, yep,
You said that was gonna be your other one?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I can't believe I forgot about that, honestly.
yeah. That's kind of crazy because every like interview Matt Barnes talks about when he was on the Lakers, thinking that they won the chip when they got Chris Paul. Like he was like he said it best. He's like, "You guys are smoking crack if you don't think they would have made it work." Like they're both the most
Chris
competitive
Paul and
motherfuckers.
Kobe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
dude.
just like,
Two of the smartest players ever.
dude, so cerebral and like it's just like they complement each other so well. Because Kobe, one thing that Kobe like a lot of people looking back, like he was so amazing, like scoring the ball off ball. He moved around a lot. That's what was so tiring about guarding Kobe too. It's just like no matter what, if he couldn't get his shot off, like with the ball in his hands, he would run through screens just to get a shot off. Like and
Yeah.
that's like perfect
Dude,
with
their
Chris.
defense would have been crazy too.
Yeah, at the guard position,
Yeah, their backcourt
dude,
defense, that duo, dude, they would have been just
they would have locked up the league. That's
yeah,
what's scary is they would
bullying,
have.
bullying opposing backcourts, dude.
Yeah, I guess my only question is like Paul Gasol was in that trade.
He would have gone to Houston.
Yeah, he would have gone to Houston. So then my question is, who would have been the front court with them? Because Lamar was
So,
gone too with CP.
um, you probably would have kept Andrew Bynum,
Bynum, right?
and maybe in this
Right.
alternate universe, like he never gets hurt real bad, ending
Oh,
career ending.
that'd be amazing. 'Cause
Because
he was
he
a
was on his way
hustler.
to he was on his like he was kind of
Yeah.
like on like a Joel Embiid early, not as skilled, right? But like numbers wise, like trajectory, you know.
Right. Short lived, dude.
Yeah, he was
Unfortunately.
gonna be a 20 and 10 guy
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
But cool. That's kind of a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any,
Definitely.
any other best trades that never happened?
I can't really think on top of my head anything that like really is like blowing my mind right now. About
Yeah.
that. Those were the two specifically.
All right. All right. I won't share the screen again, but I'm gonna hit this generator one more time here.
Yes, sir.
All righty. We got number 3, which is all right. This is kind of lame. So I'm gonna give it a caveat.
Okay.
Okay, because
Okay.
the question is, which two cities would you pick for NBA expansion?
Oh, Jesus
So
Christ.
the
Okay.
caveat though is going to be that
Can't
you
be.
cannot you cannot pick Las Vegas and you
Okay.
cannot pick
Vegas.
Seattle because those are givens.
Right.
So which which two cities would you be picking outside of those? We can go 1-1-1-1, you know.
All right. Well, you go first because I'm going to think about it a little bit.
All right, all right.
All right.
My first one is a no-brainer, I think. Absolute
Okay.
no-brainer. Kansas City.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a hugely popular football team. Patrick Mahomes is going to be there forever. It seems like he signed a massive 10-year deal. Loves being there. He's made it vocal that he would like to own a team one day. So I think that that's perfect.
Right.
And that's a big like geographical hole. Like if you live in that area, you probably gotta like go down to Oklahoma, pop a little more east in the Midwest, or go up to Minnesota. So it's kind of like a big hole there. A lot of like I imagine more college basketball fans too.
Mm-hmm.
So ripe environment there. I think Kansas City would be my first pick for expansion outside of Las Vegas and Seattle again.
Okay.
What do you got?
Okay. So this is gonna be a little bit out there, right? But I think Canada deserves another team.
Yeah,
As a country to represent like two teams, I think that'd be really cool. It'd be its own little civil war,
where are you
you
putting it?
know? Montreal, maybe? Quebec? Uh, Like, I think the diversity of the Canadian crowd is so good for the league. So expanding to another country, I think, having two teams, because at one point there was the Vancouver Grizzlies,
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say,
But
what about Vancouver? What about British
yeah,
Columbia
yeah,
too?
or British Columbia. But the thing was, it wasn't successful. So I don't know if I want to go to the same city again.
Dude, I think that would be like
Sick.
rabid. It'd be
Right,
sick. I don't know if you
Vancouver,
can do
come back.
Seattle because you know they're gonna do Seattle right
Right,
next whenever they
right,
can.
right, right,
But I don't know if
right.
you can do Seattle and Vancouver at the same time. I think that might have played partly into why Vancouver didn't have success the first time. So those are I don't
Mm,
think people realize how close those two areas are.
right, right,
Um,
right.
my other one, I would go Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Kentucky's a
it
good one.
kind of for the same reason I picked Kansas City. I think like there are just like these areas that have huge college basketball markets, right? Like obviously University of Kentucky's huge. Murray State's there. Louisville, University of Louisville's there. Like there's just so much there, and there's so much rivalry and basketball history. Like Kentucky's got a lot of basketball history, and the fact that they don't have a professional team in the state is kind of funky. So I would say maybe in like they'll be on the list like in the next 5 or 6 teams that get added like over the years. I fully expect Kentucky to get one.
Okay,
What about you?
okay. I don't know. This last one's kind of hard for me. It's kind of hard to think because, like, I'm trying to think of like cities that.
Okay, how about this? How about this? What if w- why would you be hesitant to not pick or to pick um
Uh,
Vegas or Seattle first? Is there any
ooh,
reason that you think that maybe they shouldn't be picked first? Let's maybe flip it.
okay. But see, here's the thing. It's kind of hard for me because I really think basketball would do good in those cities.
I
But
mean, yeah. I mean, we think,
like,
dude,
it is.
it's me
We
and
can.
you. Do you think basketball's gonna do bad in any city?
Yeah, that's fair. It's just if anything, I'd be a little hesitant about Vegas. I think Seattle's a safe
Yeah.
place. Vegas is kind of scary because I
Okay.
still have these like things in my mind where I'm like, is the NBA really rigged sometimes? Because it really be feeling like that,
I was
you
literally
know?
gonna say it, dude. That we already have problems, so we would need to look at it. Um, but yeah. Oh, Andy, did you jump off? All right. Well, it looks like we lost Andy for a second there. I was gonna say, just real quick, I think that the only reason I'd kind of be hesitant on Vegas at all, um, would just be I don't know, maybe that like you had the whole like Henry Ruggs thing, and that's like obviously like an isolated incident, right, in Vegas, but like that was like one of the major concerns um that people had was like when you bring a professional sports team, like you need to like they're fucking grown adults. Like obviously they should be able to handle their business. Like that Henry Ruggs thing should have never happened. There's services available that make sure that that stuff doesn't happen. But like I think there's like a reason that people worry about when you put like mega rich people that got rich really quickly in like an area that has a lot of temptation.
Mhm.
So like
Mhm.
I just we're human beings, so like I understand that kind of hesitation, right?
Right. I
Um,
That's why I think Vegas should probably be like your last option for a big city, just because it is known for the gambling. And
mhm.
that's why I always said, like, just, dude, move a team back to Seattle, dude. Seattle's a cool city, man. And they miss the Sonics, dude. They miss the Sonics. And I'm not gonna lie, the Seattle Supersonics sound way cooler than the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
lame.
No,
I'm
I'm with you.
sorry, guys. I'm not trying to hate on you guys' team. Sorry, Oklahoma. But
I completely agree, my friend. But all right, man. What do you think? Do you want to do one more?
yeah,
One
that
more
sounds good.
prompt
One
here?
more. And dude, for some reason, dude, I had to reload my page because it told me
Oh
to.
yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't worry
yeah,
about it. I saw you.
yeah,
Saw you come back. We held it
yeah.
down.
We hold it down.
All right. Looks like we got. Ooh, I got number 8, which is what's your favorite hypothetical trade right now, today? So I'll give you a moment.
Yeah, let me think for a second.
All right. I think I think I would want to see I would want to see Gobert get traded. I think that's my favorite move right now. I think I think if the Warriors could get Gobert for Wiggins, someone else, and a pick, that would be fucking insane. Thoughts?
Yeah,
That's
you
off
know
the
they.
top. That's off the top of the head.
Hmm.
Do you think the Warriors would eat Gobert's money though? Do you think they could handle that? That might not be realistic.
Especially because of Jordan Poole,
Yeah, they're gonna have to pay him. Okay,
they're
so
gonna have
scratch
to pay
that.
him.
That's the hypothetical, but it probably wouldn't work money wise. What you got?
Right.
Anything coming to the brain over there?
It's kind of hard. It's kind of
Donovan
hard. I'm trying.
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell would be really cool. Now I hate to say this, but I'd like to see Dame get traded. Um, and
I did not expect you to say that. What?
this is coming from a Portland fan, because like one, our team's in a complete stasis with our best player being like a 6'2" guard who gets beat up. And even though he drops heavy numbers, there's not enough talent on this Portland team to be able to take him anywhere. And with the fuck ups with draft picks, we're essentially just dug ourselves a fat hole. So at this point, it's like there is no point in Dame starting the next season. There's nothing he can do to take us past the first round.
You what? You don't think that they're gonna sign a bunch of good free agents?
That ever happened in Portland history? Like,
What
that's why I
Portland?
was.
The Trailblazers have a lot of cap room. The last time that happened, a lot of good things happened. You didn't like
Oh
Evan
yeah.
Turner and Alan Crabb and all those guys. What do you mean?
Right. It's just a tough situation, man. And as a fan of Dame too, as a person, he deserves the chance to fight. Cause like Dame time, it should be on the biggest stage. It's for people that don't watch Portland games, Dame can do some amazing things. So the question is, what team could take him? And you know what? I'd like him to go
Say it.
Boston.
Oh, you fucker. I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say the Lakers. Eat my
No,
ass,
I
dude. Eat
wish.
my
I
ass. I do
wish.
not want to see
It's
Lillard on the Blazers. That would be like maybe the only team I'm like, I veto that. No, fuck
veto
that. He's
that
not going to the
because
Celtics.
it would. I mean, it would be Jalen out for sure, 100%. And you're talking about decent amount of compensation on top of Jalen. But
Jalen and picks probably.
yeah, but Dame and Tatum
Peyton Pritchard
together.
comes home to Oregon.
Oh, that would be tight. But I'm just saying, dude,
Oh,
Dame
dude,
and
I
Jason
can't. I
Tatum.
would throw
Dude,
up if I had to watch Dame in a green jersey. I
I
couldn't.
know.
I
Well,
absolutely
he
couldn't.
he wears the Hulu one. He's already
Oh,
built for it, man. Like telling you. I know.
All right, dude. I have one other good one. I think I maybe have brought this up to you, but this
Okay.
is like this would blow up the NBA world, NBA Twitter.
Okay. Okay.
Anthony Davis traded for Zach Levine and other compensation, but that's
Oh, so he
who would
goes
be
back
built around.
home. He
Yep,
goes back home.
they both get to go back home. Zach Levine isn't actually from LA, but he like played college ball there. I think he
UCLA.
has a
Yeah.
house there.
Yeah.
Like he'd like he's lived a lot of his life in LA. It seems so. That'd be sick. Zach Levine might be leaving for nothing in free agency. Maybe they can do a sign and trade.
Right. Right. There's huge question marks with Zach right now and his team too.
Coming off that
Like
knee
had a
injury
lot of
too.
yeah, he's had a lot of like I wouldn't say cryptic tweets out of his Twitter, but like he's definitely said some things about how he like really appreciates the Chicago front office, but he's willing to like see what happens, you know? Like he
That means
keeps it
he's
very
leaving.
vague. I know. And so like there's that whole Spurs thing with the DeJounte Murray thing. So that was a
I like
question
that
mark.
too.
That's really cool. I think Zach LaVine is such an athlete to be able to play in like kind of a very set defensive orientated offense defense thing with Pop would be really cool. Um, but you know what's kind of cool though? Like I'm not gonna lie, you know where I wouldn't mind seeing Zach Levine. You ready for this one?
Hmm.
Is not the Lakers. Could you imagine him with the Hornets with Lamelo Ball?
That'd be exciting. I just don't know. I honestly don't know how much better they get, but that'd be
No,
like
that I
exciting.
don't know. I don't know about better, but we're
Yeah,
talking about the
that'd be like
best
box office.
commentating.
Eric Collins would love it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because I can't really think of any teams on top of my head where because he's gonna be asking for a good amount of change. So I just don't
Probably
know how
Max.
many teams. I just don't know how many teams are willing to pay a max to Zach, which kind
You
of
probably got
sucks
to
to
trade Miles
say.
Bridges. You probably got to trade Miles Bridges if you want Levine.
Now that I think about it,
I
yeah,
think
no,
Charlotte says no.
Yeah,
I think
Charlotte says
Charlotte says
no.
no.
Miles Bridges, I just wish Zach could be with a really athletic team himself, like
Yeah,
lob threats, crazy like high flyers everywhere. Fuck it, put him
yeah.
on the
All right,
Bucks.
all right. Last question, hypothetical one. Before we jump off here, who says no? Utah Jazz, New York Knicks,
Oh
Donovan
jeez.
Mitchell
Oh my god.
for R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel quickly, and I think the salary filler would have to be Evan Fournier
Evan Fournier, Emmanuel quickly, R.J. Barrett for
for Donovan
Donovan.
Mitchell. Who says no? It
It's
must be a
I
good
think,
trade. It must be a good
dude.
trade if you're thinking about it.
Yeah, no, that's really nice because one thing that RJ has still yet to improve is like going to the bucket and just finishing. I think he had the lowest field goal percentage among like highest shot takers among
But
the
he had
paint.
great stretch. He had a really good season overall, and like great
Yeah,
stretches.
for
And
sure.
here's what Utah's lineup would be: Conley, Barrett, Boyan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Gobert. Now we're talking like that's like a nice like team. That's just a team, dude. And
Team.
like the
Yeah.
defense will be crazy. You would have then Fournier and quickly off the bench, like
Well,
with Clarkson.
I kind of question that defense though,
Maybe, maybe.
cause
But then you
definitely
have
they've
that's what you
had
have free
problems.
agency for. That's what you got free agency
Agency
for, right?
for to fill in the holes. Okay, I get that.
But let's jump back to the who do you think says no? Does New York say no or does
No,
Utah
I
say no?
think Utah says no.
Okay. I think
Right?
New York says no.
Really? Because if
I think
I'm New
that's I don't
York,
think they want I think the only thing New York cares about is not no mystery. They want Mitchell, right?
right?
But I think their only thing that they're saying is we're not giving up Barrett and quickly.
Because quickly is
I
good
think
too.
that's got to be what the internal conversation is. We will give up one of those guys and other stuff, Randall, whatever. We will not lose both of those guys because then we don't have anything with Mitchell
Exactly. It'd be
in the
like that car.
backcourt.
It'd be like that Carmelo trade, like when he forced himself out of
Yep.
Denver and then he
You
went to
lose
New
all your
York.
assets.
And that's what sucked is if Melo had just waited till free agency, they would have had everything.
Yeah, they would have
Like,
been making deep playoff runs.
but he was like, nope, nope, push it now, push it now. So I completely understand why the Knicks don't want to relive that moment again. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll see, dude. I fully expect there to be a Utah Jazz trade before the summer is over.
yeah,
We don't know who it's gonna be though.
right,
Um,
right.
but that closes out our first ever run through of the replay center,
Hey, hey.
um, where we're just gonna kind of run through these topics real in depth, argue a little bit, um, and and yeah, take a close look at things. But anything else that you want to add here before we close out our first live show?
No, I've had a fun time. I think Jason and I are gonna potentially try to find some themes to work out every time we have a little video going on. Maybe it'll be the sunglasses, you know. Maybe it'll be something else. Maybe we do hats. But just other than that, you know, just good test run for really getting the video and audio down today.
Yeah. Hey, it's all vibes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all vibes, and they're all good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
uh, but last but not least, please go follow us and check out all of our channels. We will be
Plug.
starting to update accordingly. You can find us at 808s Fast Breaks on TikTok, at underscore 808s Fast Breaks on Twitter. Um, please follow us, subscribe, like on YouTube. Por favor. I've always wanted to say that for a YouTube video. Um, and yeah, I really appreciate all the support, and we'll be coming back with a lot more content in the future.
Yes, sir.
Cheers, everyone. Have a good one.
Have a good one.